You heard it right. Satisfied killer will kill you. Hey, in this video, I am here to guarantee to change your perceptions about the men in your life. This video comes from the heart, okay? I don't mean to offend nobody, but I have got to get this off my heart and make a video about what I'm seeing today out in the YouTube world. What I'm seeing is a lot of unnecessary killing, and they all seem to have a pattern. And I'm here to show you this pattern that I'm seeing in these murderers of our community members and our loved ones. And in this video, if you give me a chance, I will save your life. I could possibly save someone you love life, because I'm going to give you some information that can help you decide if you're willing to deal with the men in your life. This man could be your brother, it could be your son, or it could be your lover. Okay, so us females and women around the world need to come clear that some of these men ain't dealing with a full deck. So it's time that we start talking about it. And why I call it satisfied killer when they ain't killed nobody? Because there's some kind of um, unstable rhythm to all these murders. Table of contents, me and my friend ChatGPT came up with this. So don't come for me, but this is where I'm seeing when I'm watching all these videos of murderers on the internet, and they have a certain pattern. And I want to go over the pattern that I'm seeing. Don't make me no specialist, in murder mysteries, but I tell you, these patterns are, if you can see them if your eyes are wide open. And being that I have a little law enforcement history, my eyes is a little open wider than the normal citizen. So forgive me for putting this horrible news out there that we got killers among us. So let's go over the first one. And what we're going to learn in this video, this is my table of contents. The definition of a satisfied killer. If you keep watching, I'm going to tell you what it is. History of a satisfied killer, the personality trait of a satisfied killer, the fear of a satisfied killer. Yeah, we're going to learn a lot from these videos I have been watching on the internet. This is what I have learned from the patterns, okay? The weapons of a satisfied killer, and the word hungry. I threw that one in to describe what I'm seeing at the end of all these videos. Hungry. A satisfied killer is always hungry. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this demonstration of what a satisfied killer is. Okay, this Florida mom who pleaded for her basketball son release from some other incident. It was a very sad story. And her son has some mental conditions, mental conditions that she thought as a parent that she can help him with. And sometimes it's between him and God. And sometimes we're going to have to learn when to let our children go because, and they're adults, they have some mental, and then they don't refuse treatment and refuse their medication. Sometimes we have to let our sons just go and deal with God, be with God, because this unfortunate situation, this got out of control, and the mother lost her life in the hand to the hands of her son. Was he a satisfied killer? He had some traits that if his mother or anybody else from now on, we can all recognize from her death as something we should be looking out for. Okay? And then we will go over this more in the next clips as a way to fight back. You know, when I was working in prison, one thing I had at my disposal that the inmates hated. They really hated when I used this. I'm a woman in prison, a men's prison. But one thing they hated was the fact that I knew their name. So I use that weapon a lot. But when you got a man that's out of control, you got to call it what it is. And as bad as it's going to hurt to say what you want, you're going to say, you're going to have to say it to him. Let him hear that you won't be satisfied until you kill somebody. If he's demonstrating a lot of traits that you know that any day now, you're going to get a call. Just go ahead and tell him. Say, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to kill somebody, and you ain't going to be satisfied until you do. And then, dear family, friends, and loved ones, kiss them and tell them goodbye. Okay? This is when we have to release them and let them go. Because if you hold on to them, they're liable to try to kill you. All right, let's keep going. Okay, me and ChatGPT made this satisfied definition up, so don't come for me like this is some legal stuff. I made this up from the bottom of my heart, from my guts. Okay, let's see what a satisfied killer is. A killer satisfaction represents the ultimate fulfillment. Okay, let's start over. A satisfied killer. A killer's satisfaction represents the ultimate fulfillment a killer feels after executing their act, whether driven by revenge, justice, or sheer pleasure. It embodies the psychological depths behind the motives, where the act of killing isn't just about violence, but about achieving a personal, emotional, or twisted sense of completion. That's what a satisfied killer is. He got to have a twisted sense of completion. And when it's not completed, he ain't satisfied. So he walking around giving everybody hell because he wants to kill. Okay, let's go. See, it's like being haunted. Haunted. They're like, you're scared to death because someone is haunting you. They're gonna kill you. That is a horrible feeling to have. That you know somebody is out to kill you. I cannot imagine. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna start putting this shit on blast. Killers and all. Somebody need to tell them to their face, you ain't gonna be satisfied until you kill that girl. And when you do, I'm gonna be the first one to tell them, I knew it was you. That's how we got to do it. I knew it was you. And we're going to fight back and say to their face, if you're one of the loved ones or one of the people this motherfucker ran to after he killed his loving girlfriend in the previous uh, video, then you got to tell him to his face, you won't be satisfied until you kill me. You know what I mean? You know he's going to kill you, so you might as well go ahead and tell him to his face. You ain't going to be satisfied until you kill him. And he gonna say, oh no, oh, I ain't gonna kill you. I ain't gonna do nothing. Or you might get the motherfucker that tell you he is. Now that's gonna be scary. Oh yeah, that's gonna be scary when you say you won't be satisfied until you kill me. And he said, you're right. I am gonna kill you if you ever try to leave me. And that's when you got to start making some decisions about living or dying. For a man, you have no control over. And he ain't got control over you. He didn't bring you in this world. He shouldn't be able to take you out. But he thinks he can. And if you stand his presence any longer, he probably will. All right. So our eyes are open on who we're dealing with here. All right. History of a satisfied killer. They sometimes have criminal history, domestic violence, drugs, fear of fear of man, not God. But a lot of people have this, and they're normal, good, working class people. No problems. A lot of people have this history, and they go on to have a loving relationship with their family and with their family. But something else that adds to it. Okay, this is my body of work of a man. You add a little bit to his body. It makes a lady. Working out some differences on her side, like he got a lot going on, but I still love him. He ain't a bad guy, in which a lot of men are not. Okay, it's only when you start incorporating a few of these ingredients. Okay, I got this skip to say. A Chicago rapper gets shot in the head and then violated by. That's crazy. I've seen these videos. These are some old videos. This is Cut to the Chase TV, old videos. Oh my God, this is horrible. These people wasn't even satisfied to kill him and let him die. They had to violate him afterwards. So for the families and the lovely ladies that these killers running home back to, I know you know something when your man get home after he done did something as horrible as this. You're going to have to tell that motherfucker, one of these right here, you won't be satisfied until you kill all of them, huh? And so since you out there killing everybody and stomping on everybody's head, I'm going ahead and kiss you goodbye. It's over. Because you ain't killing me. You're going to have to tell them to their face, I know you're a killer. I know you're a killer. Or if you ain't a killer, you ain't going to be satisfied until you do. So I might as well go on and get my hug on out the way. Get my kiss, and say my goodbyes. And I want to just tell you, son, don't your ass call me when you get into some shit. Do not call my motherfucking house because I told you, you got to kill. And when you do, don't call my motherfucking house. So we fighting back. All right? Parents, you got my permission to tell your kids and your loved ones, don't call my goddamn house. Okay, these are some of the personal traits of a satisfied killer, some of the patterns I've seen in some of these videos. Me and ChatGPT's worked this out. Let's go over a few. The killer feels a deep sense of justice or personal closure, believing the act was necessary to the right of perceived wrong. Yeah, you know what that means. He done made that shit up in his head that he did what he did because it needed to be done because somebody done disrespected it on God. Some shit like that. Let's go on. Taking a life gives them an intoxicating sense of dominance, providing that they have absolute control over someone else's fate. Yeah, for a day or two, they stalking a motherfucker. You know what I mean? His life is in my hands. That's what they feeling out there. These killers. They feel like they got him on the ropes because they hunt his ass down. That's what a satisfied killer feels. You have anybody that's making someone else feel like that? Oh yeah, he think he God, and he about to take a life. All right, let's see what else. The act serves as an outlet for suppressed rage, trauma, or frustration, bringing a twisted sense of relief. In his mind, he fucked up. So he gonna just fuck up everybody else around him. He gonna take a couple of people's lives. He gonna fuck up a couple of women's lives and children. Because in his head, he all fucked up. That's my definition of it. What's yours? Comment down below. Shit, I don't know. Let's keep going. But I'm sure your eyes is being woke now. Got to be woke. I guarantee if you keep listening, your eyes is gonna be, your heart is gotta be woke and hurting. Let's keep going. Some killers enjoy the adrenaline rush, the excitement of the hunt, and the danger of the crime itself. Mm, they sure do like it's a goddamn game. You notice how they do a shooting and they run out like it's a game? Like they playing, what, op something on the games? They got guns in their hands and they feel like when they're playing the game, like, only if I could just play like this for real in real life. So they come out and they get to getting their guns that they play on the games, and they get to shooting like that, missing everything because they can't shoot worth shit. But they want to play a game. These fucking kids playing real life games with real life guns. So if you got a man that you know who like to play with his guns, because he like to play those games that shoot up shit, and he likes to fumble with his guns and move it all around, you might have a killer on his hands. He gotta use it. He's gotta play with it. He's gotta do what he's doing on those games somewhere in real life. Maybe, maybe not. But it's just my thoughts. Okay, last one. Murder fulfills a dark sense of desire, illusion, leaving them with a feeling of accomplishment. When a man ain't got shit, he ain't got nothing, and he gets away with little petty crimes, that's something for his pockets. Now he's starting to do more crimes. That's something for him. Sometimes these murderers is just for something for him to have, something for them to do. They ain't got shit else. So they want to take something else from somebody else. They don't know it. That's how sick they are. They just want to take because they don't have nothing. They want something of accomplishment for themselves. Some selfish ass shit. That's for sure. Just keep going. Ohio mother snuck by her ex after he disarmed the cameras and hid in the closet. She knows she was being stalked by a satisfied killer. She knows it. She knows that if that man called her, he was going to kill her. That's a horrible feeling. But can we start down identifying these satisfied killers before they kill, please? This lady has died, and we are watching her video, and I don't want to go in vain that somebody can learn something from this horrible story. And this is from M. Keisha Investigates. That some men are not out to do you good. And you need to watch the ingredients that he has as a man, as a whole. And we're going to get more into the ingredients. We got into some of the definitions, some of the other traits, but let's get into some more. I'm going to show you. This is crazy. And then you still have to fight back. I'm sure somewhere in her relationship she said to that killer, you won't be satisfied until you kill her, huh? Until you kill me. I know she had to say that to her. To him. Did she say it to him? Do you think so? You know, we say a lot to people, but we don't actually say what we actually mean. I think your ass trying to kill me. We really need to say that. And when that happens, you put the killer on notice that his demons inside on notice that we're on to him. Okay, so you have to say the words out loud to stop your killer, and then to stop him from killing. And if he ain't gonna stop, you have to fight back saying, well, I think you're on the verge of killing somebody because you got all the ingredients of a satisfied killer. Because you ain't gonna be satisfied until you do. You spazzing out, you crashing out all over the place. You ain't gonna be satisfied. You're an unsatisfied motherfucker right now. And until you kill, you ain't gonna be satisfied. And when you do, black man, don't call me. Black man, don't call me. When you let them know that we know what they're up to, and you let them know that when it happened, your ass better not call me. Get your hug in, give them a pat on the back, and send them on their way about your house. Protect yourself and your loved ones. Don't let them crash out with you. Call them by their fucking name. All right, let's keep going. Trace of a satisfied killer. Now, I ain't gonna read all this. I just put this one up here. A lot of people have this disorder, de- dependency personality disorder. That don't mean you're a satisfied killer. But I put this up here for an example of people behaviors is beyond other people's control. You might have a man with a personality disorder that you didn't know. The disorder you thought was cute. You know what I mean? I dated a guy who used to always be like, how you doing? Wait a second, he always got to get up close to me when I'm talking, this and that. Come to find out his ass got a hearing problem. Okay, he deaf in one ear. So you got to be careful on the cute traits of your man. They might be the personality disorder that takes your relationship to another horrible level. I'll let y'all read this. Y'all can pause it and read it, but I'm gonna keep moving. This gay lover of the church elder who killed his wife so he can stay, so he can keep his secret. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Some people would do shit just to keep their secrets. Mm-hmm. They so scared. Mm-hmm. That's the scary part, about to confront somebody on some dark, dark shit, and you'd be like, I'm going to tell your mama that you is the most horrible. That's a lot. I think we need to start having some people with us before we confront our loved ones. Before you call him his ass a satisfied killer, have somebody with you, because some men ain't gonna take kindly to it, that being called a satisfied killer. But when they need to be, and you really need to tell them, you a satisfied killer. You walk around here because you're unsatisfied until you kill. Y'all might think I got it ass backwards, but watch. You won't be satisfied until you kill to get what you want. Mm-mm. You gonna see what I mean? They walk around here raising hell, unsatisfied motherfuckers everywhere, just doing shit in your house, just making you scared to live, to love. You know what I mean? Your children living is scared. Unsatisfied. You like, why he ain't happy with what we got? That's an unsatisfied motherfucker. There's nothing you can do about it. Tell his ass though. Traits of a satisfied killer. Ah, this is one I looked up. I'm not gonna read it. Y'all can pause it. Y'all can clown me for it. I don't know, but I looked up some stuff. I'm just saying that shit. These stuff is beyond a lady's control. This is between him and God. Ladies, stop being fooled and stop falling for the okie doke. Pay attention. Shocking story. Ex-girlfriend's daily act against boyfriend from Ohio body cam. Yeah, women killed too. Women killed too. And I'm sure he felt that she was unsatisfied, unhappy, unruly at some point, that he felt the energy of she might could heal. You know how you can feel the energy that a person could be so crazy about you that she could possibly kill? I'm sure he felt that. And I'm sure she's sorry about it. But it's too late now. You won't be satisfied until you kill him. You want to be so fucking jealous over a man so much that you spaz out all the motherfucking time every time you see him. What you want to do? If spazzing all the time don't work and change his behavior, ain't nothing else to do but to kill his ass, take him off the face of the earth. Is that what you was trying to do? Then if that's what you're trying to do, you're gonna do it one of these days because you already got it in your mind, you know, to take him from this earth. You're a satisfied killer. You ain't gonna be happy. You gonna keep giving him hell. What you wanna do? Remove him? Shit, that's damn near next. Damn near next. All right. So we got a body of a man here. He got a lot going on up in here. Ladies, your gut is your God. I put the gut over there, and your Bible, and your gut and your God is fighting because you're dealing with this man that's got all of these issues, and your gut said, you know what, you might want to step away, but no, you going against it. You're going against your Bible, and your gut is battling. Listen to your gut, because over there on the men's side, he's listening to all his issues. He's going to react to all his issues to keep him, what they say, protected. I want to protect myself. So all his little bubbles is going to pop just to protect himself, while you over there like, these are not my values that I love. Yeah, be careful. And the most dangerous trait of them all, a man that has a fear of man, not God. A man that has a fear of man, not God, is a dangerous man. If he don't care about the repercussions of God's word from the Bible, or he's never had any true experiences, he has nothing to account for. His only fear is of man, so he's walking around any day now about to kill. Because man is going to do something to you that piss you off sooner or later. It's going to be unforgivable of what the man do. Okay? So this is the most dangerous trait for a man to have. And you know who I'm talking about. The ones is, I don't care what comes, I'll kill him. So you'll do everything from what the Bible said not to do what you need to do to stay alive, just protect yourself, to protect the hood. And that man is ready to die. One of New York's most dangerous teenagers, shot and killed, has been indicted on murder and weapons charge. And this guy has shot somebody younger. It's younger and younger. So we got to tell our young people, you won't be satisfied until you kill all of us. When his ass get back from doing all these shootings, come back to the house. No, get your ass up. You wouldn't be satisfied until you kill all of them, and you done killed. Don't come back here. Y'all have my permission to tell y'all family and your children, the men you love, don't bring your ass back here. Because he is going to kill again. He's going to kill again. But a satisfied killer has a tendency to desire more. Let's get into this. So, weapons of a satisfied killer: gun, bullets, knives, hands, his words. Everybody's weapons. Normal people can carry guns legally in some states, no problem, but it's how you use them. Let me get into it more. Okay, this is the hit spot. So, when I was a correction officer, I'm retired now, and I used to man the tower. And as soon as I get into the tower for the first time, I had OG tell me, when you're in the tower, we had a Mini 14, shotgun, some impact rounds. He says, when you're in the tower, you have to imagine, you have to run scenarios in your head. What would you do? And when will you get the gun to shoot? And all the time you're up there, you're supposed to run scenarios. He tells me this. So when I'm up there, I'm like, okay, if an inmate run towards this fence, I'm going to pull this weapon up and I'm going to pop. Oh, he ain't getting up out of here. Oh, scenario over here. If he runs over here to this fence line, if he can get over, boy, I'm going to use this, pop. My scenario. So I'm triggering my mind that when those situations happen, I know which weapon to grab. I know what I'm going to do. Let's see if we have a satisfied killer, though. What's their scenarios? This is the killer scenario right here. I think it starts in your thoughts. If you're running thoughts that you'll kill, you're going to kill. What if? Some normal people have the what if somebody break in my house. Yeah. What if I'm going to do this? My family, if someone comes in on my family, I'm going to do this and that, And then we have the other thoughts. I bet not nobody do this shit, because I'm going to do this right here with my weapon of choice. That's a killer thought. I wish a motherfucker would. Remember those? I wish a motherfucker would. We all have those thoughts. Those are killer thoughts, believe it or not. And when you keep thinking like that, when that scenario comes up, you might just act it out. You got to check your thoughts. But a lot of people have more killer thoughts than normal thoughts. So you need to check with your loved ones on how they thinking, if they even could comprehend decent thoughts. Because if they can't comprehend decent thoughts, they're having killer thoughts. So they're going to act them out sooner or later. So let's keep moving. So now, the body of work. Now he got weapons. He got killer thoughts. His Bible is on the bottom of his foot because he don't. Bible is the last thing a killer thinks of when he's on his mission. You know what I mean? He's out here doing his thing. See, some normal people can have this kind of vibe too, and they ain't killed yet. But if you're having those killer thoughts, you might take it there. So you might want to check your killer thoughts and your scenarios you're running in your mind of what you would do in a wish a motherfucker would scenario. And I bet nobody would scenarios, because you might just act that scenario out and kill. And you have fear of God, you have a fear of man. Because if you had a fear of God, some of them weapons you don't even need on you. All right? All right? All the time. And if you have a fear of God, not man, you wouldn't even be having all those thoughts, because you'll have no fear, because everything will be in God's hands. So it's a different kind of man you're dealing with on these levels. Texas man kills ex-girlfriend, new boyfriend at a rap concert. I bet nobody thought he would. I bet you ran a scenario in his head, said, I wish a motherfucker would. Go out. I wish her ass would go out with a motherfucker. And she did. And he went out there and he killed both of them. And himself too. Pretty much gave himself over to the law. All right. So if a man is running scenarios like this in his head, he's probably a killer. He probably will kill. Because normal God-fearing people don't run killer scenarios in their head. Okay. Because they fear God's, wrath. All right. So let's keep moving. You won't be satisfied until you kill both. You both. You know what I mean? Some men ain't going to be satisfied until they crash out and kill you both. So, you got to be aware of that. That you don't, unless you want to die early. Some men just don't give a shit. You have my permission to tell them you won't be satisfied until you kill us both. So, I'm going ahead and check on out. I'm going to go ahead and leave you alone. You unsettled right now and you're unsatisfied. Something is eating at you. You doing something. I feel the uneasiness about you. Ladies, tap in. Tap in. Tell they ass. You ain't killing me. Let's go. Signs of a satisfied killer. They have guns and knives and everything, but this is some signs that you might be dealing with one. He on the verge of killing if he has a gun. He keeps his gun on his body. He keeps his gun loaded hot. That's what our police, we call it, hot. When you keep the clip in, you keep it cocked, that's hot. Keeps his gun everywhere he goes, hot. Keeps his gun hidden in his car, hot. He tells everyone he will use it. If you got to talk about it, you probably will do it. Keeps showing everyone his gun hot. Look at it. Like I said, men like to play with their toys because they've been playing video games, and they only play the video games because they wish they could just all over the world, but they can't, so they play the video games to do it. But when they can, they like to rub their toys and rub their machine guns from time to time. He keeps promising not to harm people who don't deserve it. Yeah, I ain't gonna hurt nobody that don't deserve it. That means he done ran it in his head. Some people he's willing to do. His eyes, he keeps his eyes out for approaching enemies. He's always on guard. So you can't even walk up to him. This is no person you can surprise, because you might catch a cat. You might catch a cat. Okay. He keeps his family and friends in fear of him. Everybody know that guy, this uneasy feeling that he's a cool guy, but he's a killer. He got this feeling like he's just one step away from killing somebody. Okay, ladies, families, mothers, if you're feeling like this about your children, tell them it's time to go. It's time to go. You have our permission. Let their ass go, especially if you're adults. These kids is not the same no more. They is not the same no more. I can't keep watching videos without telling y'all something about y'all kids and our families and our friends out here. Let these dudes go. I hate when they just kill up in the house, just killing in the house. Let these motherfuckers go. So now we have all this body of work. All right. Satisfied killer is always hungry. This is my favorite. Y'all can read that. I got this blocked over here. I can't read what I'm saying. But a satisfied killer is always hungry. Say, you just ate dinner. But he's up, he's restless. He can't sit still. He can't stay in the house. He got to go somewhere. He got to hang out with his boys. He can't read a book or a magazine to save his life. He can't read an article because he's out on the street looking, hunting for something to get into. That's a hungry motherfucker. And we might not know what it is. He might be hungry. Let's look to see some of the shit they be hungry for. Hungry killers sometimes they be hungry for food. Yeah. Some people be out there, they be hungry for food. They will kill you for something to eat, for shelter, for protection, for alcohol and drugs, surviving the elements. You know what I mean? Be cold outside. People will see red, the color red, to get out the elements. Hungry for control, hungry for violence, hungry for sex, hungry for confusion. They just likes that. They just hungry for it. They gotta have it. And it's nothing we did. It's just something up in there. It's in their gut. And the worst one is hungry for revenge. This is a sick one. It's in their gut. It has nothing to do with us. We can't fix this. They're just hungry. But when you get that feeling that the man you with, the man you love is hungry, he just ate, you might have to let his ass go. Okay? Let his ass go. Whatever you feed him, he ain't gonna be full. He's not. So now you got this one, that hungry sitting up there on his shoulder. Girl, you cannot feed that man. I don't care what you feed him. He's not gonna get full. This is between him and God. All this is between him and God from here on out. As families, we got to let our children go. And I think if we start standing up to them and telling them what we need to tell them, and telling them, don't your ass call me when you get in jail, maybe they stop doing this shit so often. And then running back home. Talking about calling my mama, call my mama. Wow, these videos I'm hearing, these grown ass killers talk about call my mama. I wish one of my brothers would call my mama after they did some bullshit. I'll cuss their ass out. I'm calling my goddamn mama, you grown ass motherfucker. We had a rule in my house, after a certain age, you don't call moms about shit. You know what I mean? Call somebody else. My sister used to take the brunt of the calls of the bullshit. Don't call my goddamn mama and her up in her age after raising her kids, but bringing some bullshit to her. That shit was intolerable in my family today. That's where you have to stand up. And I think if we do start standing up like that, we might have less killings out here. Stand up to your kids. And I know some of them you might be scared of. And if you are, that's another reason why you need to stand up and tell them you got to go and don't come back here. Satisfied killer is hungry for blood and satisfaction. You know what I mean? This is between him and God. It has nothing to do with you. But he got you all up in the house scared to death, you and your kids. And you don't know what you done did. You just fed him, but he's still hungry. You don't know what to do. You thought you knew him, but now he done changed. Girl, you have my permission to get your ass up and leave him. Because some men like this will kill you. Okay? Some men will kill you. Okay? They is the creepiest shit. If you feeling creepy in your house with your man, period, it's time for you to get up and leave. Leave him. Leave everything. because he's satisfying the demon within him. Okay, and he liable to do anything to satisfy that demon with you and them kids up in that house. So it's time that you make a decision to save yourself nowadays. Because these kids, these grown men, these dating apps are the devil's work. Okay, and they be feeding their demons, living with you, feeding their demons off of you and your family's energy and life. And we only got one life. And when it's gone, it's gone. So don't give no demon your life. Please, let's open our eyes up. Yes, we want this beautiful. This is so beautiful, life as a happy family. If you leave it in God's hand, He shall bless you. Shall bless you. But don't go looking because you might just find a demon. All right. And then if you and he starts off looking good, and after a while, you found out that you was with the J Cat from J Wing the whole time. He was the J Cat from J Wing the whole time. He got out on parole. He cleaned himself up, but this is how he normally lives. That'd be crazy, huh? It would be so sickening to find out that you had the sickest motherfucker from the prison with you. Yes, ladies. So listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. Your gut is telling you when a man ain't right. If it ain't feeling right, it ain't right. You deserve better. All right? And you deserve to live. Why I'm doing this video is because